Thomas, I was thinking about, like we mentioned, Punisher in the video. I got a what out there. Got some representation.
Got a what?
Yeah, you did. You got one, exactly one what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now
the best Punisher.
The best. So, at this point, what have you learned from your characters, like from this film, that, like, what defense skills do you believe you possess in real life now?
Wait, I'm supposed to learn something? Saying, like, this is like a job where I have to learn things? No, that's not why I get into this. I don't know. Learning defense things, sure, I can kill people with guns.
All right.
I could. Not that I would.
No.
We watched John Wick a lot, so we tried to learn a lot of gun tricks. And Gusto probably learned the most and put the most, but a lot of like things that you can't use in real life.
Who has a gun? We'll show you.
Demonstration.
Someone has to.
All right.
It's like, wait, this is a moment. Hold on. Sterling.
Yo.
This role, Black Panther, those characters, this character, that character, decidedly more badass. Also, you make me sob in This Is Us. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer hurting me or making me sad?
If I can do both of them in the course of the same thing, then that's what I really like to do. I like to make people laugh a little bit. Like, honestly, watching these guys and watching that scene in particular, I got jealous in the best way possible because my character's a bit of a lone wolf throughout the trajectory of the film, but they had such a camaraderie and had so much fun. And every once in a while I get a chance to hang out with them, and it would be an absolute blast. But for the most part, I was by myself. I like doing different stuff every single time. Anytime somebody tries to put you into a box and say, like, this is what Sterling Brown does, I like to give them something a little different. So I thank Shane for giving me an opportunity to do something a little bit different. So I like it all. Love it.
Let's, Augusto down there, what do you think about John Wick versus the Predator?
John Wick is the badass motherfucker.
Brass check.
We love John Wick on this cast. We were inspired by John Wick a lot.
Really? No. It's what? Don't do it? Don't say it?
You love John Wick. You got love John Wick.
I'm sorry, you remember that they killed his dog, right?
That's what I'm saying. He did all of that just for a dog. Imagine the Predator came over and killed a lot of dogs.
Like if the Predator went to the pound and just cleaned it up, just slaughtered all the dogs. John Wick wins.
John Wick goes crazy.
He just wins on moral grounds. He's just a fucking asshole Predator.
Yeah.
What do those dogs do to you? Yeah.
Peter.
Thomas, what do you think about Indiana Jones versus the Predator?
Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Without the whip.
Let's always say
Always.
whip.
Yeah, he's going to have the whip, yeah. That's the kind of movie that I think is, you know, probably a little older, not PG-13. You know what I mean?
Rated X?
Indiana Jones, the Predator, and a whip. You know, you guys follow?
Everybody find their phone.
Talk about adult entertainment. Good
Just see what you all at the top.
They both win.
How do they use them?
When it's Indiana Jones, the Predator, and a whip, and you're talking about an R rating, we all win.
We all win.
Shane, I'd like for you to set up exactly the badassery of the, yes, it is a word, thank you so much.
No doubt.
Is featured in The Predator.
One of the conceits that we had when we sat down to make this was that we assumed that there's a faction on the Predator homeworld that's been bested, not once, but twice, by Earthlings. They send their champions to Earth, and they don't come home. They don't like that. So we figured they want to punch back. And there's an element, too, of potentially a contentious faction on Predator World that might not be above a little bit of roiding, so to speak, in the sense that they have access to survival traits and characteristics from virtually every species they've hunted.
Like hemorrhoids? Or?
Yeah. If they could develop a pill that gives humans hemorrhoids. And they can just come through and we'll all be embarrassed. So we devised this idea. It's an idea, but it was mostly an image. It was mostly something we had to find visually, right? Because you can't alter the makeup too much of the Predator. It's so iconic. You could actually walk out and find a pretty serviceable Predator walking around now. You know, and say, oh, we'll film that. So we had to figure out how to emphasize what the Predators do, how they behave. They're fast, they're deadly, they're lithe. Good word. Thank you. And they move quick and they hit, they strike and retreat, strike and retreat. And it's that feeling of deadly purpose and absolute blood-curdling fucking efficiency. Yeah, there we go. Come on. Preach it. You're bringing it. That's what we wanted. Is these
all
things.
of the good words.
In other words, there's a danger if you light it improperly, too much, too little. It's a proscenium look. That you've got these clunky guys walking around what seem to be linebacker outfits, right? The hell with that. These guys move like the wind. They come, they cut you, they leave, and you're cut when they're done. No, they kill you. So that's what we wanted, was just these completely savage, brutal creatures, and then we got us an R rating. That helped.
Yes. All right. I think it's time to look at what he's talking about in action. So let's roll that next clip. Get ready. Shane, quick deep dive question. Let's talk about the recipe for blood. Is it the same? KY and glow sticks. That's for real, right?
That's just Shane's house.
Sorry. We don't ask about that. It shows up on set, it glows for about 20 minutes, and you have to keep refreshing it. So there's some guy with a bucket running on and swabbing.
He blows for 20 minutes.
It happens to all the glow sticks.
Predator blood is one of the iconic things about this character that you gotta have. And by the way, that shot's not finished yet. There's more blood. Running in rivulets down the windshield of that car.
The Predator versus Elsa from Frozen.
Take it, I'll put it.
Let it go! They win. Frozen in general, like everybody, they win. Not everybody in phenomenal. No, Elsa. Frozen wins.
Elsa's the only one who has the power to freeze things.
Yes,
Nobody else does.
Elsa will freeze. Elsa would kill him.
Elsa would kill him.
Elsa would
freeze him up. They come from a hot climate planet.
That's right. They don't like cold.
Him up.
They're looking for something tropical. Cold fucks them up real quick. Elsa wins.
And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like Elsa has she has people. Like the Predator, these guys, they hunt solo, right? So it's
Right.
like Elsa has she has a snowman and a moose, right? So that's.
She could just make her own
Seeing how the
ice.
moose helps.
Yeah, I don't think the moose.
Yeah, Elsa would triangulate the Predator.
Triangulate.
Oh, thank you for not disparaging moose on this panel, sir. Thank you.
Would be Predator food. Elsa would be fine.
Trey, you've been in a military movie before with 12 Strong, but can you discuss that as a military character in this film, how was it different? You are obviously battling a terrifying...
You know, that sounds like the woman in the Grudge.
Okay, good note.
Versus...
Thanks.
Yes. By the way, she would win.
Shane, can you do the Predator? No. The voice?
No, man, she's dead already.
Nah, but in regards to the soldier aspect of it, I think it was relatively simple. It was more, for me at least, it was more about.
What do you say?
Good mic.
Speaking to the microphone, please.
Check.
Thank you, Trent. Yeah.
No, but for me it was more about just the camaraderie between the guys.
Right.
It's just like being, in the field.
Yeah, I feel you. Thank you, bro.
No, straight up. Love you, black man.
Is it?
I love you.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Next time.
Oh, that's so loud.